think the recording just started hard with "fuck off."
Take your Mega Man to hell.
The year is 399 EX, and Exosa's light shines upon the better part of the lands. The conquest of Mother Terra has been in motion for nearly 300 years. First, I guided Amun Pox peacefully into the arms of the Overlord. Then, the Church were shown Exosa's revelation and knelt to the Overlord's inarguable divinity, provided a new lease on life, as they helped subjugate the greater Terran realms. Then fell the Gulf, as their aristocracy was overtaken and consumed by the evolution of their kind, the Crimson Court. Together, these great armies fought back against the heresy of each rebellion of their kind, and drove them into the obscurity of the hinterlands to the west, sealing them off behind the walls of the capital tiers, blinding themselves to Exosa's sovereignty until the inevitable day the walls fall, and the banner of the Empire stands in the ruins of their civilization. Of the remaining duties in cleansing Mother Terra of this rebellion, the most pressing lies at the Terran border, the neutral territory bridging north to south. Long has the rebellion found refuge in the old walls of the border spire, posing an ever-present obstacle and disrupting cooperation between the armies of the north and south. 1 month ago, the Forgiven made to move on the border, seeking to put an end to the rebel presence and reclaim land in the name of the Church. Unexpectedly, the Crimson Court met them there, halting their plans and establishing a standstill. Both tribunes lost territory in the assault on the South Tiers 29 years ago, and the neutrality of the border up to now has made for uncertainty on the matters of proprietorship. Archbishop Reynold and Countess Savington each wish to lay claim to the border, and their constant disagreements over how best to eliminate the rebels has cost them only time and manpower. If the wheels of progress are to turn again, this must end. And in modern day, we begin once again in Tunan's chambers, the Pavilion of Law. We follow a young prefect, Motes Thane, prefect of Polis, as he enters the main chamber, summoned by Tunan.
All right. Motes will feel his way forward with his cane, a white bleached wood, tapping against the stone floor.
The halls are incredibly familiar to you, that you can even safely navigate the perilous pit over which this center circle stands.
And he does so, turning his eyes towards where he knows Tunan will be.
As you stop in the middle, you hear that sort of storming voice call out, "Approach!"
And he does.
The guitar sting hits really loud.
Yes, it does.
Tunan's playing his guitar.
Approach. What?
Does it sound good?
It's the hangman. He's plucking away.
No!
You guys like smoke on the water?
Smoking kills.
Don't fucking smoke.
He is at his sort of grand desk in his usual seat atop the pavilion. Oh, Discord's wanting to update. I think it did that literally at that second and cut me out. Every 2 seconds, this program. He has a few items neatly aligned. One is a list done up in Braille for you. Hello?
Oop.
You there?
Are we good?
King. I think it's just King.
Yeah, we hear you really well.
What the fuck?
What's going
King,
on?
you okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Let's go for it. So I approached. I didn't hear anything after that.
Okay.
Yep.
He has a desk with all, just like a couple items neatly aligned. One is a sort of list of instructions, all done in braille, raised ink for you. One is a pouch for you to equip yourself with. And Tunon sits there, hands folded, and he says, I expect you have at least been informed in brief about your task.
Thoroughly, yes.
The tribunes have come to a standstill at the border. You would have, stuff from the prologue, essentially.
Yeah.
As you may know, we already issued a prefect to this matter, before the matter had escalated. Your fellow prefect, Prefect of War, Geralt, went weeks ago, but it is reported he has suffered a grave injury, disabling him from service. He can do little more than mediate, and even active, he was failing at this. You will be sent as our final measure. You understand what must be done, yes?
You want an understanding to be reached.
The Overlord wants this over.
It will be done. One way they will see reason. Either side, they will find it. I will lead them to it.
If you feel it utterly necessary to assign land rights, you will likely lose the cooperation of one of them. Take this into consideration and confer with Geralt. He should be excommunicated presently, but his insight is valuable.
Having been there for so long, I would...
Let me... You're what?
You said there was stuff being prepared. I assume I had to approach and start. I don't know if he told me to start taking the elements he
Yeah, you can collect
made out.
them.
Yeah, I'll start collecting them on my persons.
All right. You will be taken on the locomotive out of Judicature into Adler's Folly. Oh, where's my Terra map?
Perfect.
Into Adler's Folly, and then cross into Terra Central Station. This is where you will meet your escort. A saint by the name of Canera White, who has been requested at the border by the Archbishop. She will act as your guide, and she will fulfill her duties when present at the border.
She will be my guide then.
She will protect you, and will act as necessary aid in the event you need to call upon her during affairs at the border.
That's to know how much I know about Canary.
I'm a mystery. I'm an enigma.
It's not enough.
I mean, you're a saint. I imagine I at least know a bit about their history. Maybe.
Yes.
I mean, with a 4, I'd say you at least know, like, Forever Legacy, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a DM realm question still.
Sure.
You know that she's the Saint of Storms. She's kind of a successor to Agorna. Similarly sort of fierce, very intent. I'm gonna flavor how I do this, because that was a lore, not a contacts.
Sure.
You
I can give a
know-
contacts too.
You can try.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, we'll see how complete a picture. Okay.
Oh wow, and you hang out.
We shared a beer.
Okay. So, you know, her original home was here in the Galvanic Trench to the southeast. Although when she lived there, it was still called Plummet. It was hit by the Edict of Storms roughly 30 years ago, I think. Maybe more.
Okay.
40. And that somehow she made it out of that. She is efficient, ruthless, seems to have something to prove based on what her peers seem to say about her. Just really sends a message through combat. It's pretty obvious why she was called upon to help resolve matters at this border. And you know about her presence at the Falling of the Tears.
The Overseer is wise, sending someone that's already survived two of the Edict. She's resilient. It's a wise choice, as is to be expected.
Indeed, the law feels secure in giving you only the one escort to this important missive. Have you any other questions, Prefect?
No, none at all. I feel prepared enough. What I don't know, thank you, Tunon.
Then I bid you your goodbye. Commence the mission and make the Overseer pleased.
It will be done, Tunon. By your grace. Then I start leaving.
As you do, you can just sort of feel an eye on you. The familiar feeling of that sort of implacable enigma that's always stalking the halls.
That between the 1-2 clicks of my step.
But you are not bothered. You are allowed to leave unmolested.
Not like when I first came here.
I don't like
Alright,
that word
campaign
choice.
over. Well, holy shit. I gotta cancel for a week.
I'm gonna love the playback on that one. That the whole part is just. Ooh.
It's my backstory.
It's the one
You're gonna be
censor I've
busy for
edited
2
in.
weeks.
And you get to leave, and it's just a hard cut to me talking. Athletics, I guess.
Okay. Actually, I'll go to Tara. It's more specific. So,
Damn, Moats.
he's pretty big. He could just stomp across the country in
You
like
know,
a minute.
based on that last scene, I didn't think he was this big. This helps give me clarity.
I didn't really
Yeah,
illustrate how
lead
big
to
he
believe
was.
human size.
It's kind of our failing. He is like 80 feet tall.
That was just my ear.
He leaned it into the pavilion.
He picked Tunon up to have a conversation and set him back down in his chair.
What you
It
didn't
will be
see,
done.
you didn't see outside the set, which is that he was holding up the building Tunon was in.
It's just like a statue of him
He puts his
inside.
back in the locket around his neck and he goes to
Oh my
work.
god.
Too many tabs open. You board the train out of Judicature, which is kind of a relatively recent installment. Terra was much later to get these things than the Gulf, which was the innovator, but eventually the technology was moved north, and now most territories are bridged by at least one rail line. So you make your way into Adler's Folly, a pretty large territory of Terra, and the trains don't run all the way through countries. It's kind of, I don't know what you would call it, but they're just sort of bridged together by single threads, because the landscape makes it difficult. It would require probably several decades more of construction and effort to get that sort of thing going. But you get off and make your way well, you do this several times, really. You have to make your way through several towns. Yeah, footstep sounds. Nope, it's not going that way.
Turn left. I say,
Aloud.
my legs won't listen.
I'm disabled in so
I'm-
many ways.
I control you. He says, but he knows the truth. It's not working.
Why the fuck do I not have this file up already? You make it through Adler's Folly, also unmolested. Don't comment. And then take one of several trains into Terra Central. Terra Central, due to its proximity to the south and obviously centralized location, is the major nerve center for rail lines. It's where everything sort of operates. And this is where...
Oop.
Oop.
Giant Canara.
It's not that big.
You drank the potion too, huh?
Canara, you are standing there with your Cardinal Aslan. And in the distance, you can kind of see the blue train approaching that likely carries your ward for this mission, Prefect Motes.
Mm-hmm.
Aslan turns to you and says, "Now remember, you simply serve as the Prefect's escort, and then you are to reconnoiter with the rest of our brothers and sisters in the border. Don't get involved in the politics. Courtiers are likely to try and provoke you down there. You should not step to these provocations."
She'll say, I have very little interest in politics.
She says, "Yes, but I also know how motivated you are to prove yourself. Especially to ones such as them."
She says, it is a common misconception. I believe they are already well aware of who I am.
She'll just fold her hands in front of her and smile in that sort of unflappable way and look toward the train and away from you and say, "Yes, well, I suppose the Overlord's light will ultimately tell us."
I assure you will not get too comfortable while I am gone.
She kind of sighs and says, "Compared to a saint, the life of a cardinal is comfort. I have not much to do aside from coordinate all of you."
She says, as you know, I am well aware of your duties.
she'll just say, "Oh." Actually, she's rolling to see if there's intent there.
Mm-hmm. I guess I have to roll against that, huh?
Yeah.
What am I rolling?
Either deceive or rapport.
Okay, I'll roll deceive because I'm not really trying to deceive, so.
Okay. What's your intent with that?
Canara is well aware of your duties because at one point she had... You can tell she's familiar with the duties because at some point she was possibly looking to take over those duties herself.
Kind of already knowing that when she went in to read it, she'll just sigh very quietly through her nostrils and say, "Patience. That's all it takes."
She says, and I suppose patience has gotten you to where you are now. She says, make no mistake, I think you're well fit for the position.
She'll just turn with kind of raised eyebrows and just make a at which point the train choo-choos and starts grinding to a stop. It hisses, and many people disembark. Among them, one who is unmistakably dressed as if they are of the law, pristine, prim and proper, unsullied by the sort of tarnishing of combat.
Is it Moats?
No, it's another guy.
Right, wait, he moves aside and then Moats is behind him.
And then this chump.
And this chuggle fuck.
And a chump stands there with ketchup stains all down his shirt.
Canara's a tall woman, definitely hardened. Her face is seen, some scars across it. Most notably, the largest, a large kind of like heat explosion on one side of her face that has completely taken out an eye. Not that Moats would know any of this.
Moats can see none of this.
Nope.
Which Moats can see none of, but for the sake of imagery, she is quite tall and standing there with her arms crossed as Moats deboards.
And with a 4, do I find...
Yeah, do you need to plug in your Wi-Fi extender or something?
I have it on, but of course it's not going to work tonight, is it?
It hasn't been. Just hear the laptop smash.
I was changing my station. I'm going to try to get this thing to work.
You're tuning it.
Yeah, I'm like actively doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Kid's got his router like casing open. He's just soldering
She's
wires.
using a screwdriver and poking around in there.
Every week I'm gonna try to fix this even more. I just do not know what else to do.
You just grab a 50-foot hardwire right into your room.
At this point I might have to. Yeah.
That's what I said in the first place.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting the cord from the kitchen all the way into this. It's a lot of cord. We'll figure it out.
So, yes, with that, it's pretty easy. You recognize the way you see people. Would there be any sort of... How might you recognize them through your special vision?
I was going to suggest
Does a Forgiven have a special flame?
I think her flame would burn brighter than most.
I think that's apt.
There are two sort of signatures you can see, and their flame is like sort of cloudy in the way you know the guided light to be, and also both fairly massive. Sort of understand their
flames. Is that we don't know that yet?
You don't know that yet.
Context clues.
Sure.
He sees
Okay.
people in a
I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss like a crucial element.
Yeah.
The flames, Dave.
Canara's on fire.
And she's just like,
Moats,
Yeah.
you
Man,
search a crowd of fairly mundane flames in the shape of people bandying about the way you know them to, and so it's really easy to see standing out amongst the crowd these pillars of light, and their flames are a little more, cloudy, dispersing in odd ways, and also enormous as sort of can be without being blinding. It's sort of obvious what stature they're of.
Like a bonfire. So what I'll do is I'll follow the masses, minding my step as I do so, as I work my way towards this.
Do I know anything about Moats?
Lore contacts. Each of different things. He's a prefect.
All right. Do I base level know how long he's been instated? Like, have I heard of him before?
With a flat 0, I'd still say no.
All right. So I know he's a prefect. Do I recognize him coming through the crowd?
Yeah, Aslan pointed him out.
Oh, okay. Then as he starts to draw closer, Canara will pipe up and she'll say, Prefect.
Saint White.
And me!
Flame burns as bright as I would expect
me!
Shrek!
Somebody!
Jesus Christ.
I'll just follow up and say, your flame burns
She says, I see my reputation precedes me. I would hope your travel was safe.
Of course. It brought me to you. I'm grateful for it.
She says, weird flex, but okay. No, she'll say, very well, we best not waste time.
If you would lead us.
Yes, best to tarry not. I expect the Archbishop is mere days from beheading their beloved Countess.
I will. She's insinuating that things are so shitty down there that it's just gonna devolve to violence.
Yeah.
Kinera says absolutely nothing. She's just kind of got her arms crossed in a very, like, stoic, intimidating kind of unsettlingly.
You're intimidated.
You're intimidated. Be intimidated.
She does things very cutely, in a cute kind of way.
I'm gonna look at this person and say, "Have more faith in the Overlord, our speaker."
Oh, we're provoked buddies.
Oh.
It bounces off of her as someone of a fairly high office in the church. She turns and her smile unbreaking. She says, I suppose you're no more well-humored than the adjudicator himself. Worry not, Prefect. I trust you both to accomplish things bloodlessly.
Just kind of turn towards Canarin and say, "You said we shouldn't wait, so let's not."
She says, right this way, Prefect. And she'll
pat along by.
Then behind you, you can see the shape of the flame flip a double bird. You can just see the silhouettes of them. They're going up and down.
Get a lot of that.
I extinguish the flame with my stand.
Oh my god.
No!
Okay.
Kate, it's not worth it!
The flames are extinguished, and then Canary, what you can see in real life is her hands cut off and blood spurting out from the stumps.
And he was like, alright, this guy's not so bad. But Canara will make heavy greaves kind of move across the, I don't know, cobblestone floor and take us where we're headed.
Moats is
go ahead.
slow as he moves behind you. Weighed down not by much, but a simple pack and what looks to be a pretty ornate book on his side. And
Honestly, I think initially,
Ooh.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty
Oh.
weighty tome that's against his left.
She's like, are you a nerd or what's up with that?
These are my stories.
Canara will initially take very long strides that carry her at a pace that's well above yours, but noting that you are of a much more ambling pace, she will relent to you and she'll walk at your speed.
Sure.
It's kind of a click of her boots every time she steps.
You make pace through the city, which is a real walk. Central Terra is sort of the bustling metropolis of the territories south of the church verge. And so most of it is like cities and villages clumped together. There's not a ton of wildlife within the center ring, but outside of it. And so as you make your way for the southeast station, ready to board Moats' third or fourth train of the day, or possibly two, you see a couple of Forgiven... No, wait. No, actually local law enforcement. All law enforcement is pretty local. The Forgiven have the heaviest presence here due to their... That's helpful.
Sorry, I didn't think it was gonna be that noisy.
All law enforcement in Terra is local. The Forgiven have the heaviest presence here due to the territory being adjacent to the Grand Cathedral.
Sure.
And so Terra Central law enforcement, who are dressed up in their little constables get-ups, appear to be standing over two men tied up at a street corner. They're next to a street light, next to some market stalls that are closed for the day. And Moats, I guess both of you roll notice.
I'm gonna fail this one. Let's see. 1.
Oop. That.
Kanera runs screaming.
I legitimately hit notice. I'm very confused.
Shut the fuck up!
No, that is my proper notice.
It's
only a +2. Yeah. No. Well, my provoke's a +3.
Yeah, that is weird that it rolled that. Your provoke is.
Try it again. Let's see what happens.
All right, hold on.
Wait, what the fuck?
I wonder if it's reading my other sheet because they're named the same thing.
Maybe.
Oh,
Here,
rename
hold
that.
on.
Call the other one like Young Canera.
Yeah.
Young Ganera.
Young Canera.
Young Kanera.
You should really just sort of
It could-
screenshot all that stuff so I can delete it and get off my fucking queue.
Hold on.
That's a
All
weird
right.
glitch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
That's
no
very
joke.
strange. Canera White Young. It's like her hyphenated last name.
Anyway, I guess I'll take a... Is that right? Anyway.
Yeah, but my first one was correct. It was just
That is correct. How weird. Okay, so
Yeah.
4. You, for some reason, before the blind man can hear what they're shouting. I guess because you can sort of read the body language.
yeah.
They are sort of shouting down the men about telling them where what they stole is. And all the man on the ground is sort of pleading about is to let the other man go. Moats, you start hearing this once your attention is drawn to it. You're sort of snapped out of whatever you're thinking about as man says, Prefect! Prefect! Prefect, please, I beg of you!
What is it? What do you see?
Is he asking me?
Yeah.
I thought that's good. I thought he was asking me, and I was like, I don't know what to ask Kane about this.
No, yeah, I'm asking Kanera.
Mhm.
Just say, there are 2 men. She's tied up and apprehended by the law. Says, one seems keen on speaking to you. They are presumably in trouble for having stolen something. Says, I remind you we do not have a ton of time before we need to reach our next destination, Prefect.
The laws must make time for cases like this. Follow me.
As you say, Prefect.
Whether you hear something is case by case up to the prefect, and people, at least hopefully, sort of know the weight of asking for a prefect's time in whatever their matter is. If it's particularly paltry, prefects have often seen fit to just sort of execute them for the waste of time.
I'm down for that.
Usually not in the case of them being guilty, but if it's particularly paltry, there's usually some reprimandation. There can not be from you, if whatever your style is, but that's like your sort of socially accepted standard.
Okay. In which case, I will approach them and say, your time is short. Make good use of it.
One of the authorities looks over and then back at the guy, and he slaps the guy upside the head and says, "You getting one of the law involved? Are you kidding me? This case is cut and dry. Prefect, we're sorry to waste your time. You don't need to be here. This idiot's just grabbing at straws."
I'm already here. I would like to hear what he has to say.
Alright, so you are. The officer begins to speak to brief you of the situation, but do you let him?
No, I'm going to go down to the man. Just I am standing above him, right? He is tied.
Mhm. Yes, he's tied down to the ground. But he is 12 feet tall, so his torso is taller than you.
I'm so glad I can't see. This would be terrifying.
His flame is like a big snake.
Yeah. Okay. I will look at the man. I'm gonna roll provoke to see how well this goes over. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I like how many scary people we have in our party.
I don't
Yeah.
like this. I'm gonna change my will stat.
Moats and Kinera are like high-fiving, like, yeah, intimidate him, yeah.
It's just gonna be like peer pressuring bullies this whole campaign.
So you succeed with
And
style,
I will-
obviously.
I will say, you have asked my time, and I will have you pay for it if it is wasted.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What would you like to achieve with this success with style?
I want him to spill everything, and to be like, maybe it's gonna help my empathy roll, and that he is so shaken that, like, if he were to lie, it would be hard for him to. So that'll be a creative advantage, basically.
Okay.
Like, that would be the aspect that I can tap. Mortified or something.
Yeah, okay. He's got mortified. He says, my name is Swint. This is my friend Watlow. They're trying to accuse him of stealing by himself. They say they've been tracking him for a few days, but I promise it was both of us. We need the blame evenly spread. He can't be taken away from his family.
While he's been saying this, the cane in Moats' hand is gone, and in its place is a writhing serpent of flame that slowly begins to wrap itself against basically both of them, I would assume, given how closely tied. Its
Okay.
coils start moving against them, and I am going to go ahead and do my Inquisitus to see how this goes over.
Ooh.
Wow, impressive on this guy's part. It's only by 1, but as he speaks, when he speaks of them both being guilty, the flames writhe up around him.
And I'll just kind of like stand up straighter. The cane will return to my hands, and You are not guilty of that crime, but you are guilty of wasting my time. Take them.
Kinera stabs.
The officer looks at you and says, "So it's true then? He's really not involved?"
Not at all, but he seems eager to be blamed for it. So he should pay the same price, shouldn't he?
He'll say, all right then. Would have been harder to execute both of them just for some thievery, but if it's 1 and 1, you can put them both on the gallows. Thanks a lot, Prefect. And he's gonna yank both of them up, and they're both, like, mortified. They're terrified, and both men are sort of shouting indistinctly to sort of overturn it. They beg of you no, as they start being dragged away.
The train, St. Canara?
Sorry, what did you say?
The train, St. Canara?
Oh. She says, right this way, Prefect.
No,
And,
follower.
yeah. She'll head off that way.
All right, you arrive with plenty of time as the thing pulls into station. And opens up for you. The
Sure.
conductor, a regular ass person and not a horrifying bloodsucker
Finally.
with bloodstained overalls.
Oh no! I can't see him. Canara, what's happening?
Yeah, well,
Be my eyes.
I be
Everything's
afraid?
fine, Prefect.
it's all gonna be fine, Prefect.
Just close those eyes.
And you hop aboard. This one in particular is scarcely populated because nobody's going to the border. There's a couple forgiven infantrymen, but they're talking amongst themselves. They have no desire to sit near the prefect.
If you could find a space for us, I'd like to speak with you. get to know you. Your thoughts?
Oh, he's talking to me. I don't. For some
It's
reason,
like
I
the
feel like
infantryman.
yeah, Moats is always talking to just like
The room.
The room, just like if you want. He's like talking in the wrong direction. Kara's like, I'm right
Because
here.
he's blind, Canera constantly doesn't think he's talking to her. It's just, what? Oh, me?
Who, me?
You ought to look me in the eye when you talk to me.
He's really insensitive.
That's not alright, Canera.
She will wordlessly find them a dual spot on the train, and she will almost as if like pulling back the chair for him, she'll wait for him to get in before she seats herself. Does she have all her gear with her? Is that a thing that she's got right now?
I sure hope so.
Okay, good. It's probably not uncommon that like forgiven military types bring weapons on board.
Okay, so I just got back. This isn't going to stand. I am going to fix this. So I
Okay.
apologize. This is fucked up and I do not like it. I apologize profusely.
I feel more bad for you.
No, I'm going to DM on Sunday, so I really should fix this on Saturday.
Oops.
Oof.
Yep. So I remember I was on the train. I had asked you to find us a seat. And that's where I cut.
Yep. Found your seat. She basically let you get in before she herself got in, and then I had asked if I had all my gear, and I was just kind of musing on how she's fitting a giant fucking like sword spear on this thing.
Oh my god. All right.
But she sits with a clank of all her gear, which is probably her own kind of pack and military gear as well as rations, whatever else, and this giant weapon, which probably doesn't even fit on a seat. It's probably like racked and maybe even wrapped in some sort of like cloth to keep it safe and like easy to transport.
Yeah. Okay. Whenever the train eventually starts going, he will ask, how familiar are you with the South?
I feel like I'm familiar enough, right?
You did trek across it and blow up a big building in it?
Yeah, I did do that.
Exactly.
I don't know how often your post would put you down there.
I've had run-ins
that.
with the South, but I'm not there often, right?
I mean, if you want to leave it up to a roll, that's kind of what I don't know what else would accomplish that.
Okay.
So we have your base level. Okay.
Well, the thing is, like, I've had some encountering with people from the South. I just don't really know what that base level is.
I mean, your base level is when you went with Agorna to take down the South Tiers and spent a little bit of time being carted back through courtier territory back to the north, but there's not a whole lot of cross contamination. They try to each country tries to keep to their own when possible.
Okay, so it's rare. I've had run-ins with Southerners, but it's not something that happens very often.
Yeah, you've met enough, but it's not very detailed.
Canera, leaning forward with her hands laced, she'll say, enough. My dealings are primarily in the north. However, I have had plenty of run-ins with southern locals in my time as a saint.
Sometime in the Tiers, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
What do you remember of it?
Says, mostly everything, except for perhaps the final moments. Those are particularly hazy. I remember waking up.
And you found your way all the way back.
You seem to know an awful lot about me.
I know about you, but hearing it from someone is always more fulfilling, more telling.
She sort of snorts through her nose and says, Yes, I was there. It was, when the edict was cast. The Southerners were particularly, man, how
What, eager?
incorrigible.
Oh.
It was, but I suspect you're asking with some sort of
Gold?
intent.
Yeah.
They say at the same time.
Just kind of laughs. And
Their hands kind of fall on top.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, look at that.
And she's like, I am way too old for you, honey.
He just kind of like looks a little bit over to your right and then returns his eyes to you and says, "What were they like when the edict passed? You must have moved through the south up to the north. Did they feel it? Did they know it? Were they changed by it? The edict?"
He's referring to the Southerners.
Yep. As you headed back north from your southern escapades.
She leans in a bit. I'm gonna do a base empathy here. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
The blind man is pretty expressionless.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty easy. She'll say, "It is likely no secret that I'm not particularly fond of the South." Says, "At the time, they were steadfast that the edict not pass through their lands. It was on my word that we were able to get the edict passed through the most objectively preferable route. Says, that did not stop a Viscount from attacking me."
So as I was saying, you get more details. Well, and then just yeah, there's an homily down there.
She's sitting next to him like, wow, guys.
Well, 30.
Says,
Go ahead.
"But history is only told by the victors. Says, as I suspect they are quite changed by it. Says, sharper, if anything."
I don't think they'll forget it, no. But it gives me peace to hear this from you. Thank you.
She gives you kind of a once-over, leaning back and says, of course.
And he rests the book on his lap, puts the cane on top of it, and continues to stare forward.
Eventually, it sort of comes to a stop at... the train stops at a particularly strange sort of outpost. Like, the rail just ends here with, that barricade. Those barricades that are meant to, I don't know about stop trains, but certainly fuck up their trajectory. And it's really just kind of a practically wooden shack out in the wilds. They had to establish something for this locomotive to end at, but they also have no real established territory for it to stop at. And the conductor comes back. He himself appears a little bit geared out for possibly dealing with any rabble-rousery. Says, "This is as far as we go, sir, ma'am. All of you get off here, and you have to hoof it the rest of the way to the Forgiven camp to the north."
Canara's already getting up, grabbing her spear, which I guess is probably wrapped in like blue, some sort of blue like wrapping that she can like toss over her shoulder for the time being while it's not in use.
It's wrapped in her hair.
In her hair.
Is there something that will mark the way?
He looks out and says, "Yeah, there's signposts that get a bit worn down by the weather and wildlife, but they should be there if you're They should be there.
I continue staring forward with my blind eyes.
Canara will say, I suggest you be thoughtful, Captain. And she'll say, come, Prefect.
I'll continue.
The other Forgiven on the train seem to stay behind to start collecting items from luggage, but you guys go on ahead.
Canara will deboard wherever we're available.
From there, it's walking through a roughly beaten path through the wilderness. It's been trod and sort of landmarked enough, but it's a bit of difficult going. Why don't you roll and investigate for me? Whoever's sort of the pathfinder.
Probably. I guess I have some investigate, but I feel like you have some specialty investigate. So which is better?
I think narratively it makes sense for you to lead, given that
Got
you
it.
have eyes. So
Yep.
I'll add a
gonna say
1
the
to
same
you.
thing. All right. Oh, so that's a 1 then. That's a
Uh,
particularly bad roll.
Okay, it's particularly average. Iceberg.
You're not even here yet.
It's a particularly
Just getting ready.
average pace you set. You know, you just sort of
Maybe even like keeping with the pace she felt he had taken before,
Sure.
and maybe even stopping like you do in an airport after you come through security. She's got to get herself all tricked out and ready to go before they're walking through the wilderness.
He never pays for stopping any mind if she does do so. Always just moving forward at the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an old man who doesn't know where he is. Eventually, you beat feet enough that the path comes into view, and you sort of understand why the broader border is kind of also referred to colloquially as the valley. The path starts to decline, and you can kind of see into it. Like, you sort of see the God damn it, the landscape painted out before you. It's tough to see this west side here past all the mountains, but you can just barely scope it, and particularly you see the towering ivory silhouette of the spire, which almost at any given point of standing anywhere in Terra, you can usually point to at least one on the horizon for how tall they stand. But this view allows you to immediately see the Forgiven camp immediately below you. It's got their the icon of the two hands painted together, iconography, and the blue banners flying.
All right. Canara will knowingly head toward the Forgiven camp.
And Moats, you don't go a different direction or anything? You don't just go back
Yeah.
home?
No,
Mose, you wanna not follow me? Like you wanna go somewhere else?
I forged my own path.
Yeah. You fall. Shot of him like falling ass over end.
There's a great shot from behind of you, like turning left and me marching forward. Off the cliff.
Right off a cliff.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way down. And that's the end of the first session. Wow, what do you guys think?
Woo!
It was a good speed run.
Give me just a moment. I apparently forgot to plug my computer in like a
Oh,
dingus.
shit.
No, you're gonna take stress the longer you take.
Yeah.
Declan, while she's doing that, from my understanding, so it's neutral ground. Obviously, ownership between the North and the South is on the table just because, if you help us or as payment, we'll give you access to these lands. But if no one is given quote-unquote access, they'll just maintain. No one can build on them. Is that what neutral means in this case?
It would be up in the air. It would sort of be up to the responsible authorities, which still falls within the prefix domain, really. But it's uncertain what will become of this land, depending on who contributes and how.
Okay.
It's probably part of your ruling here.
Yeah, and I think I already kind of got my idea together. I just needed that to finalize it. So good shit. Thank you.
Alright.
As you guys pass the threshold, the border is sort of marked by like mountain ranges, and as you pass through the path downward, officially entering the Exosan dominated side of the valley, once you're far enough down, you hear a rumbling behind you and the ground shaking beneath your feet as rocks dislodge from the mountains and fall directly onto the path you just went down, and they're really stacking.
Oh.
Okay.
They're stacking up and up and up until they form a sort of insurmountable wall, and then as the dust emits from them, they just neatly stop at one point.
The path we just came from?
Yeah, it seals off behind you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's a gate system or something.
Sounds like an enemy stand.
Athletics. No, you didn't need to dodge it. Oh, it's at a +6. Very
That
impressive
was
athletics
fake.
amounts.
That was fake.
Out come 3 spiders.
Yeah,
3 kobolds.
you see 3
Yeah,
kobolds
heads.
posted high up.
We're gonna rip the new one again.
These are our mountains, but you will be buried underneath
You'll
them.
never get our golden experience.
Yeah, roll
35
initiative,
apiece.
and we're
That's
gonna
what
get
I
into
crave.
2.5 hours of combat here.
You got it.
So you just asked me a question. You don't know anything about this. You can try.
I can do lore or something. Or what do you want? Contact that somebody would have told me.
You'd have to make. Well, no, I can say nobody told you about this.
Okay.
You can go ahead and roll lore. Woo!
Wow.
These stones.
You. Oh wait, shit. To make good on this lore, you'd have to go back to them and examine them, because you can't see.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I'll pass back.
As you sort of pass over them, your eyes can detect sort of the faint whisper, the sort of wisps of magical influence, and you recognize this quite readily, the sort of artificiality of their construction. This was done by clay molders.
And with lore 6, were we expecting clay molders
This was
at the Forgiven
not
Camp?
briefed with you, and clay molders are like not affiliated anymore with anything. They're considered enemies.
Okay. With that, I will stand up and say, Saint White, I believe some clay molders have found their way to us. Are we near enough to the Forgiven Camp to make it?
Are we?
Yeah.
Because we are within its range, yes. She says, can I try to see if there's some sort of like tactical advantage they gain from doing this?
Sure.
Is that a notice or an investigate?
It could be. Notice.
I guess the flavor on a notice would more be I'm looking to see if there's like any sort of danger or like counterattack on the
What you notice
facility.
explicitly is that this does not give anyone any sort of tactical advantage. There's no place they could be to like snipe you from, and a clay molder, needs access to earth to mold with which to attack you. And it's pretty like open all around. There's like not really anywhere for them to hide out. You don't anticipate danger from this.
All right. She'll kind of look over at you, Moats, and she'll say, "We press forward to the camp." Says, "Perhaps the officials there will know more about why there are clay molders in the area."
Agreed. And if they don't, they will rout them from the force, and we will find out.
So you descend the rest of the pathway and then come upon this, the Forgiven camp, sort of walled in. It looks a little slapshod. They've stuck a bunch of wooden posts in the ground to form a perimeter. But sort of looks like a month's work. It's been put together by what's available, but it's fairly hardy. And as you approach the gate, there are 2 Forgiven posted who hold up a hand to halt you guys.
Canera will be in front of the prefect at this point, and she'll halt, kind of like putting her weapon down into the ground, doing that hilt against the dirt thing.
I will do the same, setting my feet and then planting my cane in the...
And the one will step forth and say, "What's your business? Are you reinforcements?"
Canera will lead. Ooh, go ahead.
Okay. Real quick, was there a named NPC I would know that I was meeting here in the brief, or like in whatever documents I had been given?
Not specifically.
Okay. I'll just say I am Prefect Moats, meant to convene with whatever garrison has established itself in the southern border. I am traveling with the Saint Canero White.
He kind of pauses more. He pauses first at Prefect and then pauses harder at Saint and looks her over. And he says, "Prefect, what the hell are you doing down here?"
Says, "You will show your respect."
Apologies.
I'm sure he's just surprised. Not upset or anything, of course. But we are here to finish whatever my predecessor could not. You will see us to the camp, yes?
Right. Yeah, this way. He's gonna nod to you and sort of lean through the window and bark at someone to come take his post.
I'm gonna right-click this guy's portrait and click follow now.
Yeah, thank God they added that feature.
You get stuck on a post in Finna running.
I slammed the space bar to jump.
Ah!
He leads you inside, and you can sort of hear the hustle and bustle of plate-armored warriors milling about. Some are doing their daily practice. Some are camped around a fire, eating rations. Others are receiving orders from a higher-up chaplain. And the guy says, "The Archbishop isn't here right now. She's at the median, talking with the Countess."
That's right where we were headed. I'm sure you can show us the way.
Right. Just first, if you wouldn't mind helping us with something, Prefect, it's something we really need an outside view on.
Is it the clay molders at your gates?
The what?
Canera will step in and say, "Are you not aware that there are clay molders on your borders?"
Clay mold? They shouldn't even be in Terra.
That is correct, which is why I am certain you would have noticed they are here.
We've
I'm
had
glad that we have.
Her
Already
most
so
high five.
fortuitous.
he like bows diminutively and says, "Ma'am, I'm not sure how to say this, but we've encountered no Molder resistance."
She says, well, then you ought to take note that when we first arrived, there was most certainly activity on the outside. What is it? The
Perimeter?
perimeter? Yeah, I guess we'll say that. It's on the perimeter.
Did you see any? Are they in pursuit?
There was no tactical advantage to the location with which they constructed their wall. She says, however, I would suspect that this camp may be subject to investigation. You should keep your eyes wary.
There's a wall now, like we're sealed in.
Are we sealed in?
That was the only path out.
Oh, man.
She says, that is correct.
Well, it sounds like there is a tactical advantage. And you should be doubling your watch now. Whatever matter you have can wait.
They're just gonna start filling it with like one bucket of water at a time. Up on the wall.
A bunch of clay molders are gonna stand on the edge
We'll
and
get
start
'em.
spitting into the valley.
Take that, climate deniers, they say, as the icebergs melt.
Terra's flat.
Oh my god, Declan, I'm gonna roll lore. Is it flat? Is the world flat?
There's no way
No,
to
it's
know,
a-
man. Whenever
It's one of
if you've
it's
ever
that
seen the
inside out.
horizon, like if they ever take you to
flat,
travel
dude.
somewhere else, they're just
Where's the curvature?
they're just taking the boat in circles to make it
Yeah,
seem
they're just
like
going in
it's taking
circles,
longer.
dummy.
I noticed there was never a train to southernmost Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open your third
Coincidence?
eye.
If it was curved, how would our rail lines work?
That's
need to be
very
flat.
good. Holy shit.
Why do I not fall off my horse if I'm riding on it? It's going real fast.
He says, "Well, of course, Prefect, I'll be on it right away, but please take this out of my hands. We have a group of shamans. We caught them en route towards the rebel holdout at the border spire." And he's going to gesture up here where about 3 dead shamans are tied to posts. They're just sort of strung up there and sort of left, just they appear pummeled to death. A couple stab
Jesus
wounds.
Christ.
Kanara says, it seems you've already taken care of it yourself.
Well, all but one. And you see this dirtied, haggard-looking, probably starving remaining shaman who, as you notice it, Moats, you would notice it first, given that there's still a flame there, but Kanara, you notice some motion finally once it's got called attention to. He says, "We interrogated them about their purpose on the way in, but every single one of them just clammed up until they passed from the questioning," he says, putting it delicately. And the other one
And that
appears
one
as
remained.
tight-lipped as the rest. We were just about to do away with her, but that's when you came in.
Well, she may be useful. Then you can do what you must.
Yikes.
Thank God the prefect is here.
I just figure they say that a they say that a prefect, well, some of them can thresh truth from lies. And if that's true, maybe you can get something.
I have wrung the truth from less.
We'll
Then
do
he will
anything at
start
this
moving
point.
towards her.
As you guys like, we'll do anything at this point to end this. Whatever advantage you can give the forgiven.
As Moats moves forward, Kanara will look over to the soldier, and before he yeets,
He's already running.
he's already running. No, don't leave me alone with her. She'll say, fortify your borders. She says, and prepare for the possibility of an attack.
Yes, ma'am.
Holy shit, he's your son?
Yes, mum.
My child. Alright, and she'll head over.
And he'll head over. And she'll head over.
I'll head over.
I want to do investigate to see like if this flame is pitiful, or like if they're on their way out, or if they've still got some life.
Yeah. It appears to be someone, like, probably pretty far on the brink of being on it. Like, you leave them up there another day or two, and they're gonna be rotted just like the rest.
Okay. I will approach this nameless woman, finding my way up whatever stairs are available. And keep my distance of probably like 4 feet. She do anything moving around at all, or is her face downcast?
You probably wouldn't be able to pick this up, but she's just kind of staring ahead into the middle distance, eyes just exhausted. Only her eyes would move.
If your friends could have held out a little bit longer, maybe the Earth, or what? It's clay molders. Fuck me, I'm gonna get. Maybe the clay molders could have made
it. She does not respond.
You're so close. Are you keeping your eye on the horizon?
Still nothing.
She dies.
I have.
You bring out
burned-
your real character.
Yeah. I'm
Soldier
gonna do-
226 wheels in.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That would be
Ladies and gentlemen.
the craziest play of all time. I'm gonna do some provoke here, so let's see how this goes.
There it is.
Oh!
Wow!
What's that,
Whoa.
-4?
That is.
I'm gonna re-roll
Negative
that one.
4.
I'm re-rolling that.
Is that the -4?
Yeah, it
Jesus.
is. And I'm gonna.
Moat slips and
number-
falls. He just goes face
Whoop.
down in the mud.
There's a banana pie on the floor.
They were using it to taunt Arya.
Yeah, I'm gonna do number 2, Declan. Shit's about to get bad.
Kane will be back in 15 minutes.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay. I will keep my eyes forward to where I imagine that the horizon is that she's looking at, and I will say, I have burned tens of dozens of your brothers and sisters. They have screamed the truth to me. Is that what I'm going to have to do?
Wow.
Three preludes in, and are we the bad guys?
Are we?
Wait
are
a
we the
second.
bad guys?
Kara has like a little self-reflective moment.
Oh god.
Well, she did fail that will roll, so she will finally start to speak, and she'll say, "Food and water."
And what will you give me for this?
Kisses are $50, snuggles are 1,000.
Yeah.
Is she quiet?
She's still pretty quiet, yeah. I mean, you did succeed, so she's going to be cooperative.
Gotcha.
So she'll take a beat, and she'll say, "I can tell you things."
Are those clay molders looking?
Water first.
And then I will look towards the flame that is Canera and saying,
By contrast, just like
yeah, just a flaming inferno.
Canera, looking at Moat, she's gonna look over to this bitch over here, and let's see, it's Flex. Let's say,
yeah.
you rations.
they're gonna go. She'll go, duh, and then just sprint off in that direction, and come back to you with like unnatural speed. Just offering out fucking food, water.
Canara will take what she has, and she'll keep the food with her, but she will offer the probably what's not a big gulp of water. It's just a one person, like if you're in survival, you only get so much water. She'll offer that to you, Arya. Not really to your hands, more just kind of dropped in front of you.
Her hands aren't really an option.
I was gonna say. Yeah, I think I'm bound to a post.
You're like actually bound. Man.
Yeah.
Her hands have been cut off. I didn't consult you on this, Dave. Your hands are cut off.
Yeah.
Oh.
She just gestures like the poorly wrapped nubs
Then
where her hands
never mind.
used to
She
be.
won't take it. She's going to instruct the woman. She'll say, the water. She says, just 2 sips, and she'll point toward Arya.
Just gonna do what you say without hesitation, and watch Arya very closely, uncertain how to determine what a sip is, and desperate to make sure she doesn't fall short in performance. Let me just find a slurping sound effect in the library.
Yeah, no, please.
Need a cheesy SFX for everything.
Arya will, there's no real dignity here, just kind of shamefully, like, lean her head forward and drink from the cup or bowl, whatever it is, and then, as it's pulled away too soon,
Jesus.
unable to wipe her mouth, just, like, water running down her chin, she'll look to Moats, and, she just breathes an icicle that stabs him through the throat.
Well, we should have seen it coming.
Yeah, you guys gotta be careful, she's magic. She'll say, I don't know anything about your clay molders.
What do you know?
She'll say, I know that your forgiven soldiers killed every single one of my friends.
What useful thing do you know?
She'll say, I know they didn't find who they were looking for.
Your friends or the
She'll say, your forgiven soldiers.
I'm gonna turn my face towards whatever lowly soldier this is, and
Our bitch.
yeah. Who is she referring to?
Don't know. They were escorting somebody, but person got away a lot easier than they did.
So we don't really know anything about who she's referring to.
Now they had a VIP. That's it.
What were they looking for in this person?
She says, she'll for the first time slowly break the dyingest moth wings flutter of a smile, and she'll say, well, once I tell you that, you're gonna kill me.
Canara will say,
hold on a sec.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just 1 second. I'm gonna put my hand up otherwise and say, I will kill you if you don't.
like, literally, I was gonna have Canara say, we're gonna kill you anyway, my child.
She'll kind of like eyes dart back between the two of them, and she'll say, so what does it matter to me then? I say nothing and you kill me?
And you say,
or I give you this information that was worth 4 lives, and you kill me.
We do not have to kill you. You prove yourself useful, and there's no reason for us to.
She kind of kind of gestures her head over to the three bodies to her left, and she'll say, "How can I possibly trust that?"
Oh, the bodies over there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They're still tied up.
Yeah, these ones that you guys fucking killed.
Well, it wasn't us personally. I mean, yeah.
I haven't done anything to you. You killed all my friends. I mean,
I just got
recently.
here.
I just got here.
They did not speak and they were killed.
They spoke. They were killed.
That
You just arrived.
Dave, are you deceiving?
Yep.
Okay, you gotta roll that earlier so I don't need to expose that. I don't know what the fuck
Okay.
you were going for.
I don't
In
want
terms
to.
of talking about like what I know, or talking about like these guys.
Yeah, I thought you like got misinformation.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll my thing now. Obviously, that sucks a bit, but I am going to start interrogating her. So let's go ahead and do
Do it.
that.
Wow.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
Very impressive. Um.
And I am inflicting damage.
Oh, okay. Wait, how? Wait, oh,
That's
right. Your
the-
stunt.
Yep.
Let me read up on it.
So it's the difference.
Okay.
Mental stress.
Arya, take, the appropriate amount of mental stress.
Sure.
The flame sort of writhes up, sort of not to indicate any more life, but the small amount burns more intensely as you register a lie. They did not speak.
If you're going to speak lies, it's the same as not speaking at all, and you will be done in.
What does this pain manifest in this target?
They feel the flames, not on their skin, but in
Oh.
their head. It's like a slow burning that slowly eats away, and though they look down, there is no burning on their flesh. As it slowly warms into a heat.
Arya is gonna kind of whinge at that, and she'll look him up and down, and she'll say, "Anima, huh?"
What'd you say? Anima?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just talking about your magic.
Oh,
Anime.
interesting. Okay, I feel like I'd know that much at least. What did you say? He will just say, "And you're familiar."
She'll say, "They didn't say anything."
I could do this for a very long time. In fact, but I do not have that luxury now. So if you're going to say something and be useful, then I suggest you do it soon. We will be on our way, and you'll be left to this. They will not be so forgiving. Pardon the pun.
I was gonna say, despite their title, they will not be forgiving.
Yeah.
We're not very forgiven. And then the person nearby is shot by someone off screen.
Some guy goes,
All right. Okay. She will say, "It was a rebel arbiter that they were looking for."
just continues to look at you, waiting for you to continue.
To look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He
Yeah.
said the thing.
Yeah.
And
The
she
Inquisitus
says,
looks into Cha.
looks into you. She'll say, "They were on a mission. and the shamans were accompanying her. She managed to escape when we were attacked.
Where were they running to?
I don't know.
What was their mission?
I don't know that either.
I'm going to go ahead and roll my thing against this as well.
No, don't.
Roll, 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 roll. Boom, 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 boom,
Man,
boom.
how do you do? You got a strong opening when it comes to your actual power.
Yeah, this is not bad.
She does
And
know. And I
Yeah,
guess...
and she's definitely whinging.
Yeah, and I guess now take that damn... Oh, shit.
Yep. Yeah. She's definitely. You're definitely noticing her. I don't know how like you discern the heat, but she's feeling it. I imagine at this point she's visibly struggling. Canara could pick up on it.
I'll say this probably wasn't communicated very well in the first time. There's a serpent slowly wrapping itself from your legs upwards up this pole that you're
Yikes.
tied to. And where a traditional snake is made of scales, this one is a piercing white flame.
Oh.
It slowly
Oh,
starts
it's one of those
wrapping.
fire snakes instead of the skin snakes.
Yep.
Nah, fire snakes, huh?
And it's
Says
probably
Arca.
about to your knees now.
Ugh. Is it like constricting or it's just climbing?
Yeah, it is constricting.
Oh, yikes. Okay. All right, yeah, she's definitely struggling.
It will get worse. But it doesn't have to. Tell me what you know.
Motes is lying now. It gets worse automatically. You're gonna...
Yeah, you're already marked for death. So tell me quickly in the next 2 minutes. She kind of grinding her molars says, "They were on a mission. Involving the spires and the old walls."
Are they going in the walls?
That's the plan.
Like giant rats.
Those cowards. He just kind of like stares back down at the ground, and the cane reforms in his hand. He's gonna look up at her, at you, and say, "You've done more for the Overlord than any of this lot. Your death will be quick."
Canara like, thank God. Canara will almost
And then I'm going to look
reflexively-
at Canara.
Yeah. Canara will absolutely reflexively start taking off her weapon.
I will step aside for her.
Yikes.
As the music jingles on, Canara will kind of twist her blade around and she'll sort of level it, and she will kind of raise it in a way where she intends to lop someone's head off.
Do it!
Do I roll?
Kill Dave's character.
Do it.
Hey. All right. This is a regular fight, though.
And then Divine Bloodline starts, and your weapon's too heavy for you to swing it.
I don't want emotes. Don't make me.
Hang on. I mean, I'm the impartial DM. You're gonna die unless you sort of get in there.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you got something else to be useful.
Useful.
For,
Alright. We I guess we'll be doing this then. So you go for a swing. Wow! Holy shit! That doesn't seem possible at all.
Yeah,
All right.
you're stabbed for one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that be that for now, but also like, unless you're free or something? You, like, can't resist any of this?
Yeah, I was gonna, assuming that succeeded, I was gonna try to move in a way that like you cut me free, but I did not. She definitely,
It's a
definitely
smart
fucked that one
plan.
up.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, it's a good plan, but so if you want to risk it one more time.
No, I mean if there's not anything that's gonna cut in and interrupt this.
There's not a
Nope.
Forgiven here who knows you. You haven't talked to anyone. I can tell you there's no one in the narrative interested in protecting you right now.
Okay.
I'm rolling again. Then what? Or are you trying to figure out what you want to do?
I wouldn't mind giving you a minute. This is a fucking pick.
All right. Because I know what to do. I'm going to compel an aspect.
Okay.
I've been trying to find the right one because it's kind of a weird territory, but it's like either 4 or 5.
Okay.
You want to live.
Sure.
You should tell these people that you know what the Arbiter knows about Old Wall stuff.
Okay.
You can be useful.
Okay. So yes, as Kanera raises her weapon again, she'll break and she'll call out, "I know what she knows."
I'll hold up my hand.
Canara will hold.
Who is she and what does she know?
Canara will almost speak up and say, with all due respect, Prefect, she is just barking out of her mouth. She'll say, this child is just barking out of her mouth.
And then I will resume this snake and say, I'll know if she...
Resume
No.
the snake.
The snake is
Soldiers,
resumed.
resume the snake.
Yeah.
They confusedly look around, but they're still obliging.
Oh my god.
What in the fuck is with
Oh,
these rolls?
Oh,
my
shit.
god. Dave, you better be honest, because I will kill you.
I mean, I know her name. Do I know what she knows?
Kane, no, it's gonna be relative to whatever you say after this. You can't call out.
No,
after
no,
someone's-
no,
okay.
I know. No, I
Okay.
know. It's gonna be what she says here.
Got it. Yeah,
It
much
will
like
be true or
Erasmus,
false.
a stand, ability only sort of works once it's established it's out there.
Yeah, and I'm going to be a little bit more thorough on that, I promise. I did recall it, so that's why I had to recap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's called Viper back into the Pokeball. I'm feeling better about that.
Well, no, it's
No,
on
it's out
you
again now.
Yeah.
And whatever you say going forward, if it's a lie, you will be rolling.
Okay. Well, I know the name. Do I know what she knows?
Let's consult your bit of information.
Yeah. Why don't you shoot me what I do have of that? I might be missing a chunk there.
Not that you know her mission, because yeah, you don't have that information.
I've got what I'm gonna say.
But wait, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She says, her name is Edra Byrne. She's a young arbiter. She says, a group of shamans shepherded her in from Vivek. And
let me be more explicit with what I compelled earlier. The fact that you know how to, at least to some degree, translate Old Wall
that's
stuff.
that's where I was going with it. So I'm just trying to think, do I know which spire she's heading to?
The single one in the area, the border spire.
Okay. So she'll say, she was headed to the border spire. Something about what's scrawled on the walls in the antechamber. She says, I know how to read it. I could find what she's looking for. Maybe before she does.
And I will hold my hand out again, just to make sure that Canara does not...
You manage not to inflict any damage this time as the flame appears to sort of blow in the mystical wind true.
You are persistent, but I'm glad that you've seen reason. And this is very important information that you've shared with us, so you have earned yourself lenience.
She'll just let like a full body exhale. And she'll say, can she put it down now?
Just gotta wait for Canara to do whatever she wants.
Canara still got her blade held up, and she'll kind of eye over to Moats, and she'll say, She won't say anything. Instead, she will let her very heavy sword spear sort of swing back to the ground, and then she'll, put the end of it back into the dirt as it stands like taller than she does.
She'll be joining us. I think that the others will want to hear what she has to say, and there are plans to be made.
As this Forgiven steps up from having started making preparations at this missive, he says, "What?"
We'll be taking her with us, here to make the preparations.
Oh, do you need her further? What did you get from her?
I'll just kind of look away from him and start walking up towards her.
So Canara
yes,
moved
sir.
over, and after putting her weapon back, she will go for the restraints, and she'll just start sort of cutting them off pretty like viciously, with little regard for your personal. Like, she's strong.
She stabs in your hand a dozen times.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, when she's finally free, Arya will just stumble forward and probably collapse onto the platform in front of her.
She'll definitely give you a little push.
just a full boot to the back.
You ought to feel lucky, my child.
Punches you in the back of the head.
She doesn't say anything as she begins to stand and dust herself.
I didn't say you could do that.
Is that real?
No.
Okay.
Leave the dust on there.
Canara's just scooping it back on.
I'm trying to figure out how to do.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
She'll say, don't get too comfortable. And I wanna. How do we just like tie up people who are like?
If you don't have crafts, I'm sure we could find somebody on this Forgiven camp that.
I don't.
Yeah,
you don't
honestly
need crafts. You're in complete control of the situation. It's not hard to tie someone up.
Okay.
Canara will again just manhandle you and take both of your arms behind your back in that kind of uncomfortable, like bending a little bit the wrong way, and she'll, from her own gear, tie you up with something a little more sturdy than just the rope that they had here.
Arya will look over her shoulder with kind of that look that's on her icon, and she'll say, my terms are food and water. I only got water.
Kara will sort of give her the look in her icon, and then she's going to look up to this woman, and she'll say, the rations.
She'll fork them over.
Man, I don't think Canara would hand feed this woman.
Probably not.
Her hands tied behind her.
Yeah, I'm thinking Canara's gonna put them in her hands behind her back.
What a dick move, but
and just like push her forward. That is honestly incredible.
That's pretty fucking good. Yeah.
I had to figure out like the perfect imagery. So she'll put it in your hands, and then she'll take the rope and she'll just push you forward.
That's well played. Okay, that's good.
You want to hit a guy with glasses, huh? This forgiven soldier, I'm gonna return my attention to him, seeing that everything's resolved up, and say, "Have you found the clay molders?"
Well, no, sir. It's been about 15 minutes.
What good are you?
Did you say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, I don't know if you're the saint of tracking or whatever, but I would challenge you to find them sooner than us. This is a big valley.
I'm about to die. That was such a good burn.
She says, then perhaps it wasn't a very tactical decision to set up your camp here.
He's going to say okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are the preparations made?
Can I say, or was he talking to me?
That's the question whenever Moat says anything.
Is he talking to me?
No, I was referring to the forgiven.
Okay.
He's going to inquire as to what, prefect?
You were to escort us.
Right. The median's this way. He's going to sprint away. like a kid holding a backpack close to himself.
Once his shoelaces are tied, he trips immediately.
Didn't land my...
I think Arya and I are already best friends.
It's going well.
Are we Did we just become best friends?
Are we?
Yep.
It's a good meet cute. I'm about it.
Mhm.
I'm so old.
I met you on the scaffold. I'm gonna propose to you there too.
Oh.
For courtiers, it's a real meat cute.
Oh, come
I didn't
on.
like that.
It's
With
a
an
real
A.
meat cube.
Yeah, meat cube.
Ugh.
I want to be in this.
Yeah, just get in the bowl. You all know how to put your own icons on the screen.
Yep. Where should we be?
Yeah, you come up from this end.
Sorry, the ping didn't show up. Is it the left or the bottom right? It's the left. Okay.
Oh, it's
Gotcha.
gray. I forgot.
No worries.
All right, that's all of you. So, as you are escorted by where the fuck? As you were escorted by this this fellow, who at one point manages to introduce himself as Vicar Carleton. You come upon a sort of winding cliff path, and below you you can see a big war tent set up in the center of this appears to be the median. And you know this because it's where forgiven and courtiers are gathered in one place, split distinctly down the middle like oil and water, not at all mingling. And he leads you in, and on the way kind of looks over and inquires. So it's just a wall came down, and that's it? Nobody came after you? No launched rocks?
Carol. Yeah, Carol will say, it is as I said. There was only a wall. Says, from where we were, there was no tactical position they could be hiding that they could easily get at us. However, they did seal the only entrance.
And exit.
And exit.
How'd they even get up into Terra? I mean, after the Tears fell and they were marked as traitors, all of them fled after Helmar down into the Weald.
Can I do a lore to see if I know anything about...
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that, Arya?
To see if I know any clay molders in the area, and I might know like what's going on with that.
I'd say that falls short.
I would think so.
So any just, I don't know, renegade clay molders around, or if there's some type of established group that's anything really. The north specifically.
They did splinter off not all of them went on a pilgrimage down south. But you wouldn't know. That's as far as you know, even with that. It just sort of ends there for them. Like, some are out there illegally utilizing their powers, but it's hard to connect it to that entrance thing.
Sure. I'll just follow up and say, some have chosen to stay here. To what ends, we need to find out. I'm sure we will once you find them.
Another goddamn thing on my mind. And eventually,
What else is on your mind?
he said, I've been listening to the Tribunes bicker all month. Listening to the Countess, it gets in your head, and having to stare into the horrid black orbs the courtiers as the Scourge look at you with. Who's clicking their teeth. And that fucking assistant of the Countess. He's getting really riled up. You can just sense the cabin fever.
Yeah. There will be resolution.
I hope you bring more than the last prefect.
Actually, I do want to know more about what he's been doing since we've been going, so if I am able to ask it, cool.
Okay.
If not, I'll just leave it on there.
Yeah, there's time.
Okay, as we're moving forward, I'll ask, what little has he accomplished?
He's done his best to mediate, but you can only get so far when bargaining with those monsters. The Tribunes
What do they
are...
ask?
What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Tribunes are obstinate, and he assisted in an attempted assault. We tried to make some headway in terms of getting anywhere near the old walls, but he was wounded by the recourse. Of course, it fell flat due to disagreements between ourselves and the Scourge. Garrel was a casualty.
That is the prefect.
Yep.
Right? Just so he is dead, or he's just saying badly wounded when
Just
he
badly
said
wounded.
Okay.
He was a casualty. Oh God, he's dead.
No, he's just a casual.
Where is he being kept?
He points ahead to the war tent where the Tribunes appear to be.
Oh good.
What are they asking for, the Southerners?
They're spilling their usual spiel. They think everyone should go at once, just go through the valley, clog it with dead bodies. The Archbishop, bless her, is attempting any sort of decorum, any sense of strategy. She's getting nowhere. They have the numbers to oppose us. Not the skill, but can throw enough bodies at us as the court is wont to do. Every day it comes to the same thing, squabbling over who's going to get it, how much credit goes around based on who claims the place.
Interesting.
At that, you arrive at the tent, and he just sort of bids you forward and says, "Don't think it's really of my station to stand with tribunes."
No, it's not. I'll see myself in.
Oh,
I'm all about this guy. I'll ask right before you go in, Kinera, I'll say, Prefect, what would you have me do with the prisoner?
You'll bring them in.
Very well. And she will lean in, she'll say, Exosa has blessed you after all.
she'll say, why don't you bless me and give me my hand so I can eat?
She'll just go inside with you.
The cheese is getting sweat. It's not great.
The rats are getting
Not
into the
good.
cheese.
Hey,
As
there
you,
they are.
as you approach it, you can just hear shouting and banging.
I'm tiny.
Mrs.
I'm
Mouse.
just a little boy.
I can't see on that big old war tank. I'm gonna feed you the Countess. I Meekanera.
You guys all walk in a fashionable order like a Final Fantasy 1 party.
Yeah.